Welcome to the C-Files holiday weekend version. Bring this down a little. I'm going to do something I haven't done. I'm going to go through YouTube and I'm going to look at titles of videos. And I'm going to make a point with it. I just, sometimes I sit and I just shake my head in disbelief and wonderment over how messed up this world is. How messed up our thinking is. And how much propaganda is put out, how much sensationalism is put out, how much gaslighting is done. And how many people buy into it? I think I'm going to give you the number of people who watched these videos as well. And let's do kind of an experiment for a moment. Let's see what's going on YouTube. What kind of videos are going in there? Now we know that there's censorship. And if you want to find certain videos, you're going to have to go to other platforms like BitChute or Rumble. I'm not that big on Rumble really anymore because Rumble seems to be a mainline political platform. I mean, people go on the platform, they kind of determine what direction it's going to go by what they post. And Rumble seems to be more, I hate to say it, but more rhino than anything else. More mainline, kind of moderate, lukewarm, if you will, spew it out of your mouth type of stuff being posted. YouTube is so heavily censored that people are really, they try to put out stuff that's worth your time, but I find myself scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling when I'm just, my eyes are too tired to do any reading, and I'm just shaking my head going, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to scroll through 50, 60 videos to find one that's worth watching. And then I find you say, okay, I'll just watch an entertainment video and I'll tell you what that looks like for me. But the point is, it's not that people aren't putting out a lot of political stuff, religious stuff, or whatever stuff I'm interested in. They're just not putting out quality, in my opinion. So let's take a look at this. There's some quality, but not all of it. So let's bring this down. And that music, by the way, is by David Helping. It's called All Things End, if you want to look at it. I have it on Pandora. I pay for Pandora, and I have this on my Pandora account. So I paid for the music. Essentially, my mindset is if you've paid for the music on Pandora, then you've pretty much paid a royalty, right? That's what I would think. So, and if I'm wrong, then okay. But there's also the fair use doctrine where you can use music in an educational video. And these are educational videos because I'm making educational points. And so, here we go. Now, the first video I see is an entertainment video. These are the kind of videos I like watching. Forgotten 1957 Chevy 210, will it run after 50 years? One of my favorite, this is 3 years ago it was posted, but one of my favorite car shows is Vice Grip Garage. If you've never watched Vice Grip Garage, you gotta check it out if you're a car person. It is really good. All right. Now, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Well, by the way, that got 2.6 million views. And, the world's trying to blow itself up, but we escape by watching videos like that. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of escaping to keep your sanity. The next one, the best Palestine resistance video of all time. I can't get the full title. I have to click on it to get the full title. Israel's army on retreat from Deir al-Balah. Now, the part of the title that I really take exception with is best Palestine resistance video of all time. That to me is clickbait and sensationalism. And usually when I click on something like that, I just start rolling my eyes and shaking my head and going, oh my goodness, come on, folks. And then I don't watch the rest of the video because I'm sitting there going, well, this is not what the title said it was going to be. It's deceptive. When I find out somebody has done clickbait, they've titled their video so sensationally that it's a letdown when you watch the video because you're expecting to see the best Palestinian resistance video of all time. Do you see what I mean? It's too heavy, too sensationalist. Hopefully you understand what I mean. Let's see. What is Zionism? History of Israel Explained. Now that's a video to me that is titled well. You know exactly what you're going to get in the video. Now this one. Trump just dropped a massive warning about what's coming. I watched part of the video and there's no big massive drop about anything. He talked about the possibility of nuclear war, that there are nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons is the greatest threat to humankind today. Who doesn't understand or know that? Really, I mean, but how do you title one like that? Trump just dropped a massive warning. And I see these kind of titles about Trump all the time. Big announcement, massive warning, so-and-so crushed, And then you click on the video and it's not quite what they're saying. So, here's one why I got kicked out of the U.S. military. United States Navy SEAL, French Foreign Legionnaire. All right, how many people have claimed to be Navy SEALs? I mean, there's only so many Navy SEALs out there, right? And how many people are actually in the French Foreign Legion? I mean, should I believe this guy? There's some guy with his shirt off. He's tattooed up all the way to his neck. Looks like he spent a lot of time in the gym, buffed out, trying to give a tough man look. Did this guy really? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just tired of the tough guy, tough girl mentality, especially the tough girl mentality. What are you trying to prove? One thing I love about my wife, she's feminine. She's a sweet, loving grandmother. Who doesn't love a sweet, loving grandmother other than a psychopath? But no, imagine getting to your 60s and you've had, you put rings and stuff all over your face. You're tattooed all over the place, and you're in your 60s. How are you going to be a sweet, loving, grandmother on first image with all of that going on, right? That's not how you picture grandma, right? I mean, is that how you want your grandchildren to see you? Is the way you were when you were in your early 20s? Would you want your grandchildren to know what you were doing in your early 20s? Seriously? Do you have a long-term view of the future and what what's going to be like when you're a grandparent. I mean, would your children be freaked out to find out? I mean, your grandchildren be totally freaked out to find out what grandma or grandpa was doing or what they were like, or how did they get all these crazy tattoos and why do they have all these stuff on their face? Sorry, it just doesn't work. I know you're trying to follow the crowd when you do that. It's a popular thing now. When I was growing up, the only people that had tattoos was ex-cons and sailors, maybe some Marines. Today, everybody's got them, and frankly, folks, I'm sorry. I mean, I know there's some good artists out there that make some amazing artistic tattoos. I mean, I'm not knocking the artistic side of it. I think they could take that talent and use it in more positive ways. But I'm sorry, tattoos turn me off. They just don't, to me, I mean, they don't look good. Here's one. This is evil. I am shocked. They are psychopaths. Former Democrat exposes. Let me click on this to see. Exposes party's evil past. Okay, now here's the thing. If you're anti-Democrat Party, you're already thinking this way, probably, most likely. I mean, so I see a title like this and I'm thinking, okay, tell me something I don't know, right? How many times has this been done? 100, 1,000 times on YouTube? Oh, 437,192 views 3 days ago. But people watch it because they click on the sensationalism. What's some of the other ones? Let's see. The one about the United States Navy SEAL French Foreign Legion guy, 235,000 views. Trump just dropped a massive warning about what's coming, 1.9K. What was the other one? Let's see. Best Palestinian resistance, all that, 200K. So these videos are getting views. So what is this about? Is this about producing truth? Is this about putting out useful information? Or is this about trying to figure out how to put out a video that will get me, 500,000 views? And what trickery can I use to get that? Remember, this is YouTube where there's heavy, heavy censorship. And so people who really speak truth get kicked off of YouTube typically, because YouTube won't tolerate it. Let me see what else we got. Here's one about the USS Liberty, Part 2, when Israel attacked the U.S. Now, that's a video I would be really interested in watching. I already know all about the USS Liberty. If you don't know about the USS Liberty, back in the night, I think it was 1967, sometime like that, where Israel attacked one of our naval vessels, maybe you should look it up and learn more about it. Here's CBN, Pat Robertson looks like in his older years, 3 years ago. The Palestinian delusion, he says, why every Middle East peace plan.
Attention, bargain hunters.
Let's see if I can. I have to click on his videos. Some of the titles are so long. Why every Middle East peace plan has failed and what must be done instead. Of course, he's going to come at it from a viewpoint, a prophetic viewpoint that I don't agree with. So, but anyway, 88,798 views, and it was done 3 years ago. Over time, they tend to collect more views. 1 month ago, the USS Liberty one was 29,000 views. So that one was popular. But I'm just using this to kind of give you an idea. Islam in the End Times, Apostle Tommy Ariami. Okay, first of all, if you're calling yourself an apostle, I'm probably not going to be interested in your video. But 249,000 views, 249,000 people are interested. But me, I'm already turned off from your video as soon as you say, call yourself an apostle. Islam in the End Times. I already know, I mean, it's 2 hours and 18 minutes and 30 seconds long. I'm not going to waste 2 hours and 18 minutes and 30 seconds on somebody who calls himself an apostle talking about Islam and the end times. Because I already know what he's going to say is going to be contrary to Scripture, and who knows how much he knows about Islam. Not very many people are real experts on Islam. There's a handful that I know that are experts on Islam, and I seriously doubt this guy is one of them. You see, we all have opinions, and so that's what I'll do. I come on and I'll say, this is my opinion. And I'll tell you, I'm not an expert on a lot of things, but I read the experts. I do read the experts, okay? And I try to absorb what the experts are saying. I read the scholars, I should say. I'm not a scholar, but I read the scholars, so I can understand what the scholars are saying. And that's how I try to educate myself. So I would suggest reading the scholars with discernment. Think your way through what they're saying, what the argumentation is, what the presentation of the facts are. But what happens is with some of these titles and some of these videos, the way they're done, it elicits a really heavy emotional reaction. You watch a video and all of a sudden you think you know everything about that subject and you just go off emotionally. I saw one about cops recently, and some guy was being interviewed. Some guy was I think he had something to do with state government in California, as I recall. But he made a statement that I cringed. He stated, I think he was with an advocacy group that, has they lobbied the state and all of this, and they were trying to push a bill through, a use of force bill. And he made a statement. He said, cops don't shoot to wound, they shoot to kill. All right. As soon as he made that statement, I knew right away he had no clue what he was talking about. Because that is something I am a scholar on. That is something I am an expert in, because I was a use of force instructor for law enforcement in California. For many years, I was a use of force instructor. So I do know that subject matter, and cops do not shoot to kill, okay? Anybody says that, you already know automatically they're clueless. They have no idea what they're talking about. And then he said this, about, that cops, they don't teach cops to shoot someone in the leg to wound them so they could, save their life and then take them to the hospital but still stop them. Okay, this guy obviously has never been a cop. He's never been in a real confrontation. He's never been in a shootout. He doesn't understand how the real world works. Cops do not shoot to kill. They shoot to eliminate the threat. Why do they tell them to shoot center mass? Center mass is the torso area right here where the vital organs are, and not shoot at the leg to drop them? Because the likelihood of them hitting a leg when both the officer and the suspect are in motion, they're not standing still target shooting, is extremely high. And for every bullet that comes out of that gun that the officer shoots, he's accountable, or she is accountable for that bullet. And if he misses the leg, that bullet skips off of a blacktop or concrete or something like that and ricochets and hits a young child and kills the child, that officer could be charged with murder. There would be a homicide investigation. The officer is accountable for every bullet that comes out of that weapon. The easiest target to hit is center mass. They're not shooting to try and kill someone. They're shooting to eliminate the threat, to stop the threat that's coming at them, or to stop the threat that's coming at someone else, and it's a deadly force threat. Suspect has a gun. The suspect's already shot rounds out of his weapon at someone or at the officer. The suspect has a knife. He's within 21 feet of the officer and can easily charge the officer and stab the officer before the officer can get his weapon out of the holster and get a round off. It's called the 21-foot rule. And there are indications through body language and voice that the intention of the suspect is to attack the officer with the knife. I mean, these are the kind of things you'd have to articulate. Well, where's he going to shoot? Oh, I'll shoot him in the leg and stop him. Do you think shooting someone in the leg is just automatically going to stop them? Especially if they're on meth, PCP, something of that nature. No, it's not. Some people will keep coming at you until they bleed out. And so making an ignorant statement of, well, why can't we just teach police officers to shoot to wound and not shoot to kill? That guy has no business trying to influence legislators when it comes to use of force for police officers. Because the only thing he is doing is endangering the public. He is making it unsafe for the public. And look what's happening in California. I just got off on a rant. I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. Look what is happening in California. Stores are being looted. Mobs are coming in and they're just grabbing all kinds of merchandise and walking right out the door. Nobody's stopping them. The cops will not do anything about it. Why? Because of the way the laws are currently written in California. The cops, their hands are tied. So what's that going to result in? Well, number one, that kind of action demonstrate that that particular segment of society has gone into a brainwashed, barbaric mentality. Have you seen all of these racial attacks? I'm not talking about white on black. I'm talking about black on white. And the only reason the attacks are occurring is because of the person's skin color and nothing else. This is a brainwashed, barbaric action. Someone who has been brainwashed, been mentally manipulated and controlled through mind control techniques, through education, by the way. This is done in the universities today. Through gender studies, through critical race theory studies, black studies. These young college students are radicalized by their professors, by these mind control techniques. Prove me wrong on this. By these mind control techniques, and they're taught to hate people based solely upon their skin color. And so this is why these attacks occur. This is why they loot the stores. Because they feel they have a right to do so, because their ancestors were mistreated. You know, they were slaves or whatever it might be. And this is in their mind, they're thinking, well, I'm going to get my reparations. If they won't give it to me, I'm just going to go in the stores and get my own reparations, and I'll keep doing it until they stop me. That's the mentality. It's a brainwashed, barbaric mentality. Okay? So what happens? The stores begin to shut down. When you're looking at downtown Sacramento, downtown San Francisco, downtown Oakland, the stores have shut down. The downtown areas in those cities have become ghost towns. They're becoming, they're abandoned. They're ghost towns. So do you know what that kind of a brainwashed, barbaric mentality will think? Well, they've shut these stores down because they are racist. The owners are racist, and they don't want to give us stores like they give the white community stores. This is what they're thinking. I guarantee you. They will not associate their own actions to the store's inability to continue to operate in that environment. They will never make that connection because they can't make it, because their mind has been shut off to that possibility. And that's a result of critical race theory right out of the Frankfurt School out of Germany. The second thing that will happen, they will blame the government for not providing them with stores that they can collect reparations from by stealing and looting from the stores. When you have that mentality, you have the society, that particular segment of society has imploded into a form of barbarism. Their ability to reason, their ability to think rationally has been eliminated. It's not there. All right, let's see if there's anything else before I shut down this video. Let's see if there's anything good I could bring to you guys. Oh, Russia's global plan is finally revealed. Okay, first of all, I do not believe Russia has a global plan. This is sensationalism, right there already. I mean, I'm just pointing out some of the titles I see, and I go, no, come on. But how many views? 70,000. I don't know how many of those 70,000 people are convinced that Russia has some sort of a globalist plan. But I doubt they did any research beyond the video. And at times, so on the video it says, "Time's up for Israel. We had no choice," and it has Putin and I think an Israeli ambassador or someone. I think this could be partially based upon people's misunderstanding of biblical prophecy, thinking that Russia is Gog and they're going to come down and attack Israel. Folks, Russia is not Gog. Sorry to inform you. It's not Russia. It's not Russia. It's Haman. If you want to know who Gog is, read the book of Esther. So we'll probably leave it there. I mean, there's more. Oh yeah, I had this. I think this is the one that really stirred me to make this video, and so I got to mention this one. And I'm gonna have to click on it to get the full title. So bear with me just a moment. Okay. Palestinians and their genetic links to the Canaanites, Philistines, and Jews. Okay. Who cares? Apparently 44,714 people care. 6 days ago this video was put out. I could care less what the Palestinian ethnic links are, or genetic links, or ethnic history is, or who they go back to. Well, they go back to the Philistines, and then people will take that and use it and say, see there, the Palestinians are no good because they go back to the Philistines. Okay, that's really good logical reasoning. Yeah, okay. Holy cow, folks. Really? Is this, the whole point of the video is this the level of our intelligence now? We can't do any better than this? Seriously? My ethnic history, my ethnic lineage has nothing to do with who I am today. Absolutely nothing. And the Philistines, or I'm sorry, I got me thinking about Philistines. The Palestinians' ethnic lineage has nothing to do with what kind of person the individual Palestinian is today. Absolutely nothing. My skin color, now this one's going to anger some people because they've been brainwashed to think in a critical race theory manner. My skin color has absolutely nothing to do with what kind of person I am. It has nothing to do with anything my ancestors may or may not have done. If we want to go down that road, black skin color, you owned slaves too, or your ancestors did, both black and white slaves. Okay? And don't tell me, oh, that was a very small minority. Wrong answer. You go to the slave trade that occurred in northern Africa, where they were bringing European Christians into northern Africa and enslaving them and doing horrible things to them. That's not a small minority. That's a huge, that's a huge enterprise. Okay? Just as big, if not bigger, than the transatlantic slave trade. The entire world was embroiled in slavery in that time period. Okay? Slavery has been around almost since the beginning of humanity. Guess what? It's still around today. There's still slavery in Africa today. There's still slavery in the Middle East today. And worldwide, there's sex slavery, and there's human trafficking, which is a form of slavery. We have not eliminated slavery. And it's not just the white people, okay? But this is where the brainwashing comes in. This is where the inability to think through issues and actually study the real true history of it and actually go, well, you know what? Humanity is the problem. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. There is none righteous, no, not one. There's the problem. We've all fallen short of the holiness and righteousness of God. Therefore, we are all sinners. We have evil intents in our heart. The scripture says that our heart is wicked above measure. Who can know it? Even our good works are as filthy rags in the sight of God. That's the problem. That's why there's slavery in the world and always has been. Because of the wickedness and the darkness of the human heart. And the only way to resolve that is the light of Jesus Christ. What he did on the cross to redeem us from our sins. Once you're redeemed from your sins, then your heart changes. You become a new creature in Christ, and you begin to think differently, and you begin to act differently. Has nothing to do with ethnicity. Has nothing to do with any connection to any ancestors. But can people think beyond that? Can people actually pick up a book that's as thick as this and actually read what a scholar has written about those things? No. People don't do that. It's easier to watch a 15-minute video and think you know everything that there is to know about the subject matter. And this is why the world is messed up. The sin of the human heart and the willingness to be gaslighted, lied to, deceived, and to believe and accept everything all that gaslighting and deception has been thrown in your direction. Just believing everything you're told. Oh, the government said it must be true. Oh, the CDC said it must be true. Oh, the FDA said it must be true. Oh, the World Health Organization said it must be true. Oh, the Palestinian said it must not be true. Oh, Russia's government said it must not be true. Oh, Iran's government said it must not be true. Oh, Israel said it, therefore it has to be true, and they can do no wrong. This kind of linear, black and white, either or, illogical thinking is what's messing up the world. We got to get beyond that, folks. We got to get smarter. We can't just click on a video and think, oh, I just got everything I need to know about that subject. World doesn't work that way. It's just like the shoot to kill myth about police. How many people actually believe that myth? A lot of people believe that myth. And trying to convince them otherwise is like trying to pull a tooth out of a wild lion while he's trying to eat you. Okay? That's what it's like. Because once people get it stuck in their head and believe it to be true, trying to convince them that, hey, there might be another way to look at this. Nope, they don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. They would rather believe a lie in their comfort zone than to step out of their comfort zone and face the possibility that that lie might be exposed, and they might actually have to admit that they were wrong about something and change their thinking. That's a very, very scary prospect for a lot of people. A lot of people fear that. Got to get over that if you're going to learn how to see the world in its reality. Thanks for watching. I'll have more here on the C-Files. God bless. We'll see you next time.